What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. Yesterday, I did not get to the window with anything, so don't really have anything to report. Vino, did you get to the window with anything, and how you doing today?
I'm good, Skee, but I got to the window with bad decisions. We talked here how we wanted to get to Golden State. I really did think Golden State was the right side, but my option, the way that I chose to bet it was Golden State team total first half over. Did not get there. 37.5 was the number. I thought was a little low. Got to 34. Did win the game, though. Good effort by Golden State. And the late game, I had the Dream and LA over, and that was just maybe one of the worst 3-point shooting games of the year. I think they made like 8 3-pointers combined. So rough night last night. Already up and available with the $5 play today. 2 plays actually in W action tonight. So a little stronger than I thought last night. We'll see if we can get cash tickets tonight.
All right, let's see if we can do it. We have 3 games to talk about today, and let's see. My bad. I need to refresh this. I don't know what happened. We'll refresh. We'll start at the top. Looks like the first one, Sky and Sun. And the opener I have here was 5, I believe. Give it a second while my odds screen catches up. And now we're looking at 6.5. Not sure where the total is. Or the total open, my bad, 168.5. And it's as high as 171. For an injury report, you do have Layla out. Nelson Adota. I don't see what that is. They have her on may not play, but there's no designation. For Griner, it says game time decision. For Chicago, everybody will be available except for Skylar Diggins. This Connecticut team, we've seen them plenty of times without Layla early in the season. They did not look good. They've looked good at certain parts at home, but it's hard to trust them thinking that she's not going to be out there. Griner cannot be out there. It becomes tough. The Sky obviously are not a team you expect to win so many games by multiple possessions, but this could be one that they do. How do you view this one, Vino?
Yeah, I like everything you said there, Ski. I feel like Layla, when you take her out of that lineup, she's one of the highest usage rate point guards in the league. She's always got the ball in her hands. So now you're going to turn the ball over to Charlize Lager Walker. I don't know that Connecticut offensively adjust right away. I feel like there could be adjustment issues in the offense, especially the half court, especially ball handling too. Chicago's got guards out on the perimeter that can make your life difficult. And now that Layla's not ball handling, it could be tough for Connecticut. You mentioned Griner. I feel almost like Skee that Connecticut's just going to ride out the string without Brittany Griner. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but it seems like there's no interest in getting her back in the lineup. And if you lose Olivia Nelson-Adota, both centers in this game, and Cardoso interior for Chicago should be wide open. So you're looking at the Sky on offense where they should have advantages at the rim, which creates advantages everywhere else, kickouts and whatnot. And on defense, I don't know that Connecticut, they don't shoot the ball well to begin with. If they don't handle it well tonight, if they don't get points at the rim tonight, it just makes it difficult. This thing is way adjusted, right? I mean, generally, if both teams were healthy, Connecticut's probably somewhere in the vicinity of pick or -1. Here we're looking at 6.5. But I think you're right when you said, you don't expect Chicago to win by this big of a margin often, but tonight's matchup certainly gives them an opportunity. They're still playing hard. I think they come off that Indiana game the other night a little bit ticked and come in here and win. I think if you really don't have any interest in laying 6.5, you could play first half and shorten it up with Chicago, because to me, Connecticut's issues at point guard would be worse in the first half as they try to figure out what they're going to do here. And maybe Chicago gets off to a good start. So a lot of ways here to look at the Sky, I think.
Bad, I was muted there. But we'll move it on over to Fire and Wings. And this one opened up -7.5. Looks like 9. Total opened up 176.5. We'll call it 177. As far as an injury report, I don't see anybody on there for the Fire. For the Wings, Isaiah James remains out, Verona out as well. And we do know, we're not going to see AZ again. This Wings team, they've been playing good basketball since they changed their starting lineup and put um, Queer in the at what starting forward or center. They've been playing really good basketball. So I like what I've seen from the past couple games. You could also look at it like I'm gonna pull it up just to verify. But the Wings, they were playing a tough schedule, right? And then now it's getting a little bit easier. So the last two games they beat the Fever with the Fever in a bad schedule spot, and they beat the Storm. Prior to that, Valkyries, Fever, Tempo, Lynx, Valkyries, Mystics been playing good. They kind of had a little bit of a tough schedule now. Getting to see some of these other teams, Storm, Fire. They got the Sun next. I don't know, these are the teams that they've been beating up on all season. Um, I think I just prefer to chop this one in half for the Wings. They've been really good for 20 minutes. For whatever reason, I mean, we talked about it the other day. The coach wants to talk about rest, like resting players if they get any kind of a lead in the second half. And I wouldn't want to be a part of that. So if you like the Wings like I do, I would cut this one in half. What do you think about this one, Vino?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm interested. To me, Ski, um, Dallas's improvement the last couple of games just seems like they're taking a little bit more or playing with a little more intensity on the defensive end. And that could be sense of urgency, right? We talk about the standings every day here on the show and where Dallas sits right now is the 8th seed. Not that they're going to lose that 8th seed. I don't even know if it's mathematically possible, right? They're 6.5 games ahead of Portland. I don't think it's possible for them to lose it. Um, but they probably want to climb out
Yeah,
of that Minnesota bracket. We
yeah.
just talk about every. You don't
Nobody
want to
wants to be
be.
there.
No, you don't want to
Yeah.
be. If you're 4, 5, or 8, you just don't want to be there. You'd rather be 2, 3, 6, or 7. So they're not that far behind the Mystics. Only a half a game. Only a game behind the Liberty. So obviously, wins like this, where you should win, become important. Page had a great game the other night. Seems like now, and I don't want to base it on one game, but it does seem like now that they know that AZ Fudd is out for the season, they know how they have to go about things. And Page kind of took over the other night. Portland's weak on the interior. You mentioned Queer, right? It's like 7 or 8 blocks the other night. Portland just runs down and shoots threes up and down the floor. Don't really have anything at the rim. DeLeo's been good, but I don't know. I think Dallas has a lot of advantages here. Would not be opposed to playing them first half. Wouldn't be opposed to playing them first game, really, unless Portland has a huge night from three. I don't know that Dallas's defense is going to be in that much trouble against this particular team. I know that as we talk about Portland, I know you hate this Portland team, the way they're built, the way their results come out, the whole shooting match. But I do think Dallas is probably a better look in this one. They just seem determined at this point in time, playing with a little fire.
Oh, I like that pun at the end, playing with a little fire.
Hmm.
No, but we agree on this game. We're looking at maybe the home team some way, shape, or form. Last game is the Mystics and the Mercury. This one opened up -1.5. It's 1.5 now. It has been moving around a lot, but 1.5 now. Total open 167. 167.5 is what we'll call it. Injury report. Nobody on there for Washington. For Phoenix, Sammy Whitcomb is probable. Suarez is out. If I'm not mistaken. Phoenix does have a rest advantage, which is they do have a rest advantage. I think they've had a couple of days off or a few days off. Um, I was surprised yesterday. I'm looking at it. Kelsey Plum's listed as out. She's been out, right? And all of a sudden, she's off the injury report. Mercury don't have anything to play for. And I watched the interview for the last game after they lost. I don't know. I don't know. Kalia Copper, she was like, she was irritated, upset, didn't want to be there, don't want to talk about it. Alyssa Thomas was answering questions, but it almost seems like, players who are so used to playing competitive basketball, knowing that they're already not going to be making it. I mean, I've heard Draymond say things about this. Like Draymond said, it's hard to get up for some of these games. Like when we've already been to the championships and we've already been, it's hard to get up for these other games. Like this, why are they getting up for these games anymore? Season's over. I don't know. The other side, it's the same thing we just talked about with the Wings. They have everything to play for, so they've been playing good. They have advantages. They just beat this team by 20. I would think the Mystics are the right side. I don't see a whole lot of defense being played in this game. I don't think the Mercury have the size to really stop the Mystics from being in the paint and uh, really just scoring easy baskets. And I think with Plum back in, she can help the Mercury's offense at least a little bit to contribute along with Kalia. So over or Mystics would be ways that I'm looking in this game. What do you think, Vino?
Yeah, a lot there, Ski. What you said at the end, I totally agree with. Washington had their way on the inside. Their starting lineup played really well in that game against Phoenix. What they didn't do that they usually do is they really didn't get to the line all that much. Like Washington in their last game got to the free throw line 44 times, 32 of 44. It's just crazy how often they get there. But against Phoenix, they got to 95 points and only made 12 free throws. They weren't really visiting the free throw line. I'd anticipate them to get there more often here. My thoughts on this Kelsey Plum deal. Um, I think from what I read, let's say 3 weeks ago or at All Star break when they acquired her, Phoenix was going to do everything possible to keep her for next year. And I just feel like they want to use this as a test run. Put Kelsey Plum in the lineup. Let's see how it goes. Do we work together well? Sort of a more of a stepping stone towards next year than wanting to, compete this year. But I do think they want to compete because they want to see how good they can be with her. They released Dewana Bonner, right? She won't be out there. Let her go to go find a team that maybe makes the playoffs so she can try and chase a ring. So I think that's the idea behind this whole thing is to see what they would call their core three: Copper, Thomas, Plum. How do we do these last few games? And that'll probably be the deciding factor of whether they keep Kelsey Plum, pay her for next year, or let her go into free agency. So I think that's the reason behind it. I don't see Washington being stopped on the interior here in this game whatsoever. The only somewhat frightening thing or concern that I would have that stops me from really getting to the window stronger with over is the pace that Washington plays at. But I offset that by saying if Kelsey Plum's in the lineup, Phoenix is going to play faster. And no question about that. And they probably do make a few more shots or at least get a few more opportunities for good shots, like you say, with her in the lineup. She plays less defense. I don't know. To me, it all adds up to over. Um, and sidewise, we'll see. I really want to watch Phoenix for one game just to see how this works. In my mind, it's an experiment for 2027.
I mean that makes sense. Makes sense. So far, the experiment is 1-3. We'll see if it changes tonight. All right, that's the three games for today. We'll go and do the usual promos. That means Skee and Vino, 2 for 1, 3-day all access. You can get us both every play we make for only $69. If you prefer to rock with one of us, the same $69 will get you 6 days. On that note, Vino, I know it's a $5 Tuesday, but I'm just gonna ask anyway, just because if there's anything else. Oh, well, I don't have to ask you if there's anything else you have to promote. That's the promo, right? $5 Tuesday.
Sure it is.
Vino has $5 plays up. I have I have multiple $5 plays up too. So you can check out our pages for that. Now, Vino, if there's anything else you'd like to add, whether it's a promo, whether it's a play, just words or nothing.
Yeah. Real quick, I would just say, yeah, for $5 Tuesday, guys, $5, it's up. Go find the best bet for today. That's what $5 Tuesdays are for over at Wager Talk. I will start. This is a couple of days premature, Ski, but I do just want to say to the audience that follows college football that I'm going to be back again this year with Drew Martin every Thursday doing college football, every game on the board. So if you guys are interested in college football, you can find us there every single Thursday. Drew, and we go back to the original sports memo. We've been doing this show for over 20 years now. I'm going to keep it alive here again. So Thursday, week 0, college football. Find us on YouTube, find us at X, giving you a little bit of analysis on each and every game. Like I say, for a best bet today, we'll pass because it is $5 Tuesday, and hope everybody out there cashes them tonight.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll pass too. Shout out to Casey tapping in. I haven't seen Casey in a little bit. Yeah, $5 Tuesday. Plays are up on our page for $5. That's the way to rock with it for today. All right, Vino, always great breaking these games down with you. Helps my process tremendously. Chat, we appreciate you all. Best of luck, everybody, on all your action, and we will catch you all again tomorrow. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing here, Vino. That's not how you end the show. So there we go.